So you start by cutting a wrapping paper tube to the height of a lightsaber, and then you'll take a second one the same height, slice it down the center with the utility knife, and then just fold the edges in a little bit so that it's smaller than the other one, and then just slide it inside the other one. And then you'll do the exact same thing with the third piece of wrapping paper roll, slicing it down the center, folding up the edges, and sliding it in, and what that'll do is it'll give you a nice strong hilt. So then you just want to cut the one end of it in the shape of whichever lightsaber you happen to be doing. I'm doing Anakin, so I'm doing the little emitter shroud on the side. So there's that once I've got it all lined out. So then you want to get yourself some adhesive silver foil, and you want to wrap it around your wrapping paper roll, and then cut it so that it's wide enough to go all the way around the roll with a little bit of overlap. So then you just want to trim the edges. You want to make sure that it's a little bit longer than your wrapping paper tube, so you can fold the edges around later on. So just peel the backing off of the foil, and then you'll lay your tube right on that. And you'll just roll the foil right up around it, and it'll stick right to the cardboard. When you get to the end of the foil, just roll that right around, and it'll stick to itself, and you can barely even see the seam line because it's so shiny. And so then you just want to take and cut a bunch of slits in the bottom of it, and then you'll fold down each of those slits so that the edges of it are all folded to the inside of your tube. And then up at the top, you'll do pretty much the same thing, but before you fold them, you just want to cut it in the shape where the little dip is, and then you'll do all the cuts around it, and you'll fold those down around the cardboard as well, folding the cardboard to the inside, piece by piece. And so then this is what you should have so far. And so then cut yourself a piece shaped kind of like this, and then you'll just fold it backward. Make sure you're folding it backwards so the sticky side is out, and then you just want to slide that in the end of the lightsaber. And it's a little difficult to get in because it is sticky side out, so you just got to work at it a little bit, but you want to slide it down, and what that'll do is that'll cover up that piece of cardboard that was showing before, so you'll have a totally silver inside. And so then you want to take a little circle of black paper and 2 gold scrapbooking brads, and you just want to take something sharp, and you want to poke 2 holes through the paper and through the wrapping paper tube that's now silver colored. You want to make sure that those holes go all the way through one of the layers, and then you'll take, once you've got the holes all the way through, you'll take your scrapbooking then you'll take your scrapbooking brads and push those in through there, through the 2 holes, and then you'll push them through the 2 holes that you made in your wrapping paper tube. And then you'll spread out the tails on the inside. Mine are actually going horizontal, but they should be going vertical, but I did them horizontal to follow the curve, keep the paper flat. So then I cut a piece of 3mm craft foam that was wide enough to go inside the tube, just a little bit wider actually, and then a rectangle which I'll be gluing onto it in a circle. Just put a little glue on the end of the rectangle, fold the ends around to make a circle, and then take a strip of silver foil, not quite as high as the circle. You just want to wrap that all the way around, so you got just a little bit of black showing at the bottom. And I know that Anakin's actually had the little wings sticking out at the top and the bottom, but I just did it flat to make it easy. So then you put a little bit of glue on the bottom of it and stick that right in the center of the 3mm foam circle. So then put a little bit of glue all the way around the bottom of that, and then you'll just squish that right into the wrapping paper tube. Again, it's a little bit bigger so that it sticks in there really well. Then just readjust it. Then take a little circle of silver foil with a hole cut out of the center and stick that right on the top to cover up the rest of the black foam, just like that. And then you'll take a rectangle of foam. If you want to do the D-ring anyway, you'll take a rectangle of foam, and then you'll just fold the edges together, and then that'll allow the ring to move, and then you'll just slide that right into the tube and glue that in place, and the foam and the cardboard will be hot glued together to make the hanger. So then cut another circle of 3mm foam with a little notch cut out to go around the D-ring hanger, and you'll just put some silver foil on one side of it, and then you'll cut it out in the shape of the foam, Then put a little bit of hot glue around all the edges of it. And then you'll just slide it into the bottom of your lightsaber. So that will be your little cap at the bottom. And so then here it's starting to look like a lightsaber a little bit. And so now it's time to do the handle grips. So you want to cut a bunch of 3mm foam pieces, and then you'll cut a bunch more that are half the size of the other ones. You'll put a little glue on one of the half-size ones on the edge of it, and then you'll push that right on to one of the bigger ones, and that will be your grip. So then you'll just hot glue those all the way around the bottom of the lightsaber. You want to make sure that your glue is really hot when you're doing this because it doesn't stick that well to the foil. So you just put those all the way around to make your handle grips. Just like that. And then you want to cut yourself kind of like an elongated H almost, and that's going to go around the handle, so you want to make sure it's long enough to go around. Lay it out on on the sticky side of a piece of silver foil, and then you'll just cut down it enough. You want to leave 2 wings on the edge, and then you'll just fold all the pieces around it so that you end up with this, again leaving the 2 little wings on the edge. And so then you'll just put some hot glue on it, and then you'll just wrap it all the way around the lightsaber. When you get all the way around, you just push the wings over the beginning of it, and you'll barely even be able to see the seam lines. So then I just took some metallic silver puffy paint, and I put about 1,000,000 little dots in between the 2 sides of the little H piece that I just glued on. And then I took a strip of gold foil, but if you don't have gold foil, you can just paint the gold strip if you want to. Put that on the flat side of the H strip. There's all the silver puffy paint dots. And so then I cut out the little switch piece, and then I put some gold foil around that and cut it in the shape of the switch piece. And you want to put it around all the sides except the bottom. You can leave the bottom open because you'll be putting hot glue on that anyway. So cover the entire thing in gold foil or paint it gold, one of the 2. And then just put some hot glue on the bottom and glue that on the flat part, just like that. And then you want to put all the writing on the gold strip. The only thing I found that would write on this foil was actually a fabric marker, so that's what I'm using, but just any marker that'll work on it. So there is with all the writing on it. So then I took one of those little homeopathic bottles, and I took out the center cap, because it's got those little ridges on it, which look just perfect for this. Right there. And so then I painted those silver, and then I ended up breaking the bigger one because I was initially going to stick it in the hole there. So what I did instead was I just cut a piece of 3mm craft foam in a circle and covered it with the adhesive foil, silver on the outside and then gold in the center there. Again, you can also paint it if you don't have the gold foil. And so then the other piece that I didn't break, fortunately, I just hot glued that and stuck it right on the top there. So then I cut out 2 little tombstone shaped pieces and 2 rectangles of 3mm craft foam, and I glued the 2 rectangles in between the 2 cardboard tombstone pieces there. Just like that. Then I put a little bit of glue on the bottom of that stack, and then glued those to a slightly longer foam rectangle that sticks out a little bit at the sides. And so then I coated both sides with some more of that silver foil, put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom, and then hot glued that right to the top of the lightsaber, just like that. And then I didn't have an orange button, so I've just got kind of a yellow one here, but if you got the orangish reddish one that they had in the movie, use that. And so I just put a little hot glue on the bottom of that and stuck it in the now silver homeopathic top there. And so then finally I took a little bit of silver paint and painted all the white up on the top. So there's the whole lightsaber. Now it's time to test my skills.
Control, control, you must learn control.